So, electric prices. What's changed? What's going to happen? Well, we've got a new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, and she's rode in to the rescue. It's all going to be fine. Let's deal with this. So, our Prime Minister's come to the rescue, got a plan. The plan is £2,500 cap for the next 2 years. I've done the digging for you. Let's get into it. So, quick bit of background. Why have we got to this point? Well, energy prices are going up. We all know they've gone up. They've gone up massively. And they're yet to go up again by at least another £1,000 in October 2022. In the United Kingdom, obviously. The Prime Minister has decided we've got to do something about that. The reason why? We've got inflation, cost of living, all the other things that we've talked about previously on our videos. Those things are all coming to fruition. So we need to deal with this electric price. The next 2 years, energy prices are going to be capped at an average, for an average house, of £2,500 a year. We've got to get a bit technical here, guys, so I apologise, but what an average house means is 12,000 kilowatt hours of gas per year and 2,900 kilowatt hours of electric per year. Those numbers are really important. The first thing to say is average. We all live in average houses. Well, we all believe we live in an average house, but we don't. Average houses have an average consumption, but that doesn't reflect reality. So if your house uses more electric or more gas than what I've just talked about, you will be paying more. That's right, it's not going to be £2,500 for you. It's going to be more than that. Martin, what are you talking about? You're confusing me again. This is all going round in circles. How do you get to £2,500 and then say it's not £2,500? Well, that's because the £2,500 is going to be converted into a price per unit. And that price per unit is based on, you got it, the 12,000, the 2,900 for the average house. And that unit price is then going to get applied to your consumption for the next 2 years. So you're going to know where you're at. It's a bit like having, I guess, a fixed rate for the next 2 years. You know where you're going to be at and you know what's going to happen. Martin, look, you've just talked about this average price for 2 years, all of that stuff, but am I going to have to pay that back? Well, my answer to that is maybe. Now, how's the £2,500 being come up with? How's this all being funded? Well, we come back to the magic money tree. The magic money tree is the government borrowing. And the government have said, we can go out into the market and we can borrow some more money. Well, okay, but I'm not sure the government magic money tree borrowing scheme has come to fruition yet, but you never know. So the government's going to borrow the money. We're then going to have to pay that back because we pay the interest for as a taxpayer and all of that stuff. So we've got to pay that debt back. We've got to do it. We're going to have to pay that. How are we going to do it? Who knows? That's 2 years down the line. And at the moment, we need to get through this inflationary stuff, the energy prices. We need to get through all of that. And then I guess we're going to worry about it when we've kicked the can down the line in 2 years' time. But that could mean price of energy stays the same. It doesn't fall. It could mean that tax goes up. That could happen. Or we could end up with something called, I don't know, let's see, the Energy Price Levy Repayment Scheme. Because that sounds a really catchy title that might work. But you run a business. So not only do you have to fund your household energy, but you also run a business. Well, what's in this for you? Well, sort of help. Well, don't get excited, but it's 6 months. And last time I looked, 6 months is quite a lot less than 2 years. But hey, 6 months and we can sort ourselves out and the cap will be the same as for the domestic market. So that cap's going to be based on the number of units and all of that stuff. But it's only for 6 months. And I guess part of that is because we're going to have to look at it and see how things can happen. Businesses work in a different way to the domestic market, and the government needs to interact with that and get on board with it. Bless her, Liz Truss has only been in power for 2 days, and she's kind of dealt with an awful lot of stuff. So, in summary, yes, it's a £2,500 cap, but it's on the unit price, not the total value. And that you need to be aware of. It's not just electric prices we need to think about. We need to think about the whole cost of living. So why not check out the video on cost of living?